So Pete, I want to talk about something that another great coach. We heard Saban talk about Miami's defense. Urban Meyer on Big Noon kickoff, Big Noon Saturday, was talking about the key to this Miami FSU game. And he's saying the key is Carson Beck, the quarterback. And that's not exactly rocket science to hear about the quarterback being a key player. We know that. But Urban Meyer, of course, one of the greatest quarterbacks in college history. I think what he's saying is, Florida State's going to have to devote tremendous amount of resources to stopping Miami's running game. They have to. They cannot just line up and stop Miami's running game. They will get mauled by Miami because they're so small up front and their scheme just doesn't match up well with our wall, the great wall of Mirabal. So really, to me, if you're Florida State, your only chance is to say, I don't think your receivers are explosive enough. You're not getting a ton of explosive yards per completion. Carson Beck, we've seen him throw interceptions. We're going to make Carson Beck beat us and make these receivers beat us. That's the only way you really can play Miami's offense because they cannot let us just line up and run. It'll be a slow death for FSU. So Urban's saying Carson Beck will win the game or lose the game for Miami, and I agree with that. Now, I think he's going to win the game. I think he's going to put up 300-plus yards. I think it's going to be a big statistical game. I think this game, from Carson Beck's standpoint, is going to look a lot more like USF than Florida and more prolific than Notre Dame because Notre Dame had a better defense than FSU.
Oh, wow. These guys just got lucky. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this game up here, but Max Johnson got smoked, and it was a ball that was just hanging in the air between 4 Clemson defenders, and UNC got it and ran like a few more yards with it. So,
all right. Well, listen, I want both teams to lose. So let's see if someone's got to lose in that one. But yeah, with Beck, I just think the game plan for FSU has to be to let Beck beat him or make Beck beat him. And I think Beck is going to beat him because, number one, FSU can't rush the passer. So he's going to have time. When Beck has time, he's an incredible decision maker. He's extremely accurate. I think, PFF grades him as one of the best quarterbacks with a clean pocket. I mean, just the eye test, which is what I use more often than not. He's extremely good with the clean pocket, very accurate, very experienced, has all the answers to the test. And I don't see any way FSU rushes the passer. They're one of the worst pass rushers in the country. Miami's probably the best pass blocking in the country. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for FSU to affect Beck as a passer. Then it comes down to the receivers getting open against FSU's defensive backs. And I think FSU's defensive backs stink. So Miami's going to have an advantage there. Miami was able to, bag enough saying our receivers don't shake or run away from anyone. I saw our receivers make some pretty explosive plays against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's defensive backs are 5 times what FSU has. So I think we're going to throw the ball for a lot of yards in this game if we need to. I mean, maybe we run the ball because we're up by too much and we just milk the clock. But I think if we throw the ball a lot, we're going to throw for a lot of yards and be very successful and efficient doing it.
Now, are you concerned at all that, these first few games, Notre Dame, they didn't really give credit to Miami's defensive backs, right, for being great in coverage. You haven't heard their names called all that much, but they haven't really. CJ Carr, they weren't really letting him air it out down the field early in that one. Byron Brown, that's not really a part of their offense. Florida, they were very dysfunctional there. They didn't even try to do it. Castellanos, not typically a prolific vertical thrower of the football, but I would imagine the secondary is going to be tested a bit more today than they have been in the first few games.
Yeah, it's going to come down to just a few plays, right? On those big opportunities, those big shots, can you make the play on the ball instead of a Deuce Robinson or whoever it is, right? Or can you avoid the miscommunication that leads to the big play? Because it's not going to be a volume of plays. You look at FSU's best game in terms of everything was Alabama, right? That was the game that's the gold standard for what FSU is trying to do. But you look
I
at
agree with this, by the way. Comment I don't know if that was hyperbole, but I don't think that
you're right. They're 10 times better than FSU. FSU's secondary stinks, folks. Let's look at FSU's secondary, guys. Before we even get to the rest of this, FSU secondary. Okay, let's look at FSU starting secondary on ourlads.com. All right. Let's just look at these guys. Earl Little was unable to play at Alabama completely. He was a complete bench warmer. I don't even believe he played, like maybe he played mop-up duty, but he was not even in the rotation. Transfers to FSU because and no one wanted him. I mean, you could have had him in the portal for peanuts because he's not good. And he hasn't played well. He got run over by Virginia. He can't play man coverage. He's not good. Ashland Barker, their strong safety, a redshirt junior who never did anything until this year, is hurt. And he was their best player. You got this guy, Jabril Rawls, who apparently is their star. I'd never heard of Jabril Rawls until this year. If anyone else had heard of Jabril Rawls before this year, raise your hand, because I follow recruiting pretty close. I never heard of this Jabril Rawls character. I don't know if he's related to Lou. He is a class of 2023 player. He signed with FSU, so he's been around forever, and we're just hearing his name now. Picked FSU over Arkansas State, Bethune-Cookman, Boston College, and Coastal Carolina. Jabril Rawls. First time we're hearing about him. He's been in college for 3 years. Okay, that's their best player. If it's not Ashland Barker, who's out. Edwin Joseph, redshirt sophomore guy. We didn't recruit. Local guy. Nothing special at nickel. Malachi Tony will abuse him. Their best player is this guy, Jerry. They're supposed to be their best players is Jerry Wilson, that Houston transfer. Okay, so it's this guy that transferred from Houston. Seems like a pretty good player. From Kissimmee, 5'10", 185. But the guy's a senior and never had any kind of NFL interest whatsoever. So that's their secondary. Notre Dame has NFL players all over the place, including Leonard Moore, who's going to be a first-round top 10 pick. There is no comparison between that and what FSU has in the secondary. Alabama threw, honestly, once Alabama got away from, and because Ty Simpson was terrible in that game, and he still, once he got going, threw at will. It was just a matter of getting kind of jumped on by Florida State. Virginia, which is no great shakes at all, they threw the ball. They were able to move the ball without a problem. Miami is a whole different level. Wait, hold on. Bill K's asking, why such animosity towards FSU and not UF? Did you watch the UF shows? I hate UF more than FSU. I don't care about UF right now because they were decimated by 3 touchdowns. Their coach is getting fired. Their fans are moving on to other pursuits, like, I don't know, pottery or New York Times crossword puzzles or whatever those dorky-ass UF fans do. So I'm not that worried about UF. They've been dealt with. They're gone. Whereas Florida State's, the team that we're dealing with here today. And again, I will admit that I let myself get psyched out by things that had nothing to do with FSU, being on the road, not being behind in any game, just kind of things, general college football. Hey, we're going to have a bad game. Might as well be here. It's a rivalry game. But at the end of the day, the more you look at FSU's roster, the more you realize that this is just a very, very bad football team led by a bad recruiter who went 2-10 last year, and a fan base that is broke. The fan base is broke also, but the athletic department is broke as well. So you have an athletic department and a fan base that is broke. And that leads to poor recruiting, poor work on the portal, and a roster that has a bunch of guys that wouldn't even be on our scout team, quite frankly. So I apologize for being gun shy with my prediction and being worried about road game and noise and all these other factors, and forgetting that the team on the field stinks. And that's, I think, what I need to focus on.
34-16 Miami.
Listen, man, you're on fire, Pete. You got the wreath executed flawlessly. You got the outfit executed flawlessly. Honey's looking good.
I got to hop off here in a few, D. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to get to.
Yeah, 1,400 on right now. So yeah, you can go ahead and hop off. I'll hang on for a second here because I want to talk about a couple more things and keep this rolling before I get out of here. But yeah, Pete, good job today. With good luck with the home decor as you finish up the projects. And yeah, man, keep rocking the fashion. Don't let her bring you down. Don't let her take away your color. Don't let her take away your flair.
It's an ongoing battle.
All right,
war
man.
is war.
Nothing more. Be good. All right, you can check Pete out at the post game when he is celebrating this victory here. PJ Shaw says, look, if Miami disrespects the opponent like D right now, we'll be in for rude awakening. Good news is I don't have to play these guys. I'm sitting here in an Airbnb at Tallahassee watching the game, with a nice can of BUZZN. So they don't have to, I don't have to worry about anything, man. Like I said, I'm going to sit here with a nice can of BUZZN, and they don't have to worry about me playing. I'm not the one that they have to worry about. Our team's not looking past anybody. They're